everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I have a video that I'm having to make because due to Sunday's stream being Marvel related, which I absolutely loved, it was honestly one of the best streams I've ever done, I'm going to be talking about the Grand Prix at the weekend in Istanbul. And I've got to say, it was an interesting and boring race, kind of, because there was a lot happening, but at the same time there really wasn't much happening. It was mainly a race of whose tyres are going to burst first, and no one's did. There wasn't a single tyre failure, because it was a one-stop race, for the most part it was a one-stop race. Some drivers did zero, in fact only one did, but I'll get onto that in a moment. But it was a very strange race. It was entertaining in some parts, but for the last 10 or 12 laps, things started to get a bit boring and not much was happening. There were two penalties given out during this race. Yes, there were two. One for Pierre Gasly for knocking into Fernando Alonso, and then a few minutes later, Fernando Alonso knocked into Mick Schumacher. So, kind of balancing out in terms of the penalties for Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso. So, yeah, that was interesting, but Lewis Hamilton, I feel so sorry for him at the end. Of course, there was the pit stop situation where Mercedes got him to come in, which basically screwed up his chance of getting third place and ahead of Max Verstappen, or closer to him, I should say. But so now Max Verstappen has a 6-point lead championship lead, which is really, really not good. I mean, it isn't terrible, but it's a 6-point lead that could have been avoided if Mercedes just let Lewis Hamilton get on with the end of the race. Because he was very solidly in third place. And honestly, if Mercedes just let him get on with it, it would have been fine. But unfortunately, they called him in, the graining on the tyres started happening towards the end of the race, and he just couldn't get back up to third, which now means that Max Verstappen is now 6 points ahead in the championship. But luckily for Lewis, the next race will be at Circuit of the Americas in Dallas, which is a very strong track for him and Mercedes, so he should be able to claw back that lead pretty easy, considering his past performances at that track. And, as I mentioned a few moments ago, there was one driver who managed to do this race on a single set of tyres, literally didn't pit once, and that was Alpine's Esteban Ocon, which makes me think, if he could do the race on one set of tyres in an Alpine, Lewis Hamilton could definitely have done the same in a Mercedes. So I can understand why Lewis wasn't particularly happy about that. And that was the first time in 24 years that somebody has done that. The last time being Mika Salo in 1997 in Monaco, which coincidentally was also a wet race. So I think we've figured out that wet weather tyres last a lot longer than dry weather tyres because of, the water can keep them kind of cool. Well, not so much cool, but make sure they don't get to temperatures where they could just blow up, because that, I wouldn't say is a common problem, but it's a big problem for the dry weather tyres. It happens more often than you'd think, but not crazy often. So Esteban Ocon has now done something that hasn't been done for 24 years, and that is using one set of tyres through an entire Formula 1 race. And I've got to say, really impressive. So that's two massive things that he's done this year. Won his first race, won Alpine its first race in I don't know how many years, and has kind of added himself into the list of drivers who have done that. So, well done for you, Esteban. But yeah, overall, a decent race. Like I said, it wasn't the most entertaining, but it wasn't, an absolute snooze fest. There was stuff happening, but it was just very few and far between. But of course, as I said, once we got to those final 10, 12 laps, things started to really die down. Not much was happening at all. And also, Yuki Tsunoda holding back Lewis Hamilton for 6 laps. Who saw that coming? Because I didn't. So, yeah, decent race. Could have been better, could have been worse. But yeah, hopefully Circuit of the Americas will be much more entertaining this weekend. No, next weekend, sorry. There's going to be a week break again. But anyway, that'll do it for this video, guys. So as always, people, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to mine and Roxanne's and Frost's YouTube channels. Their links are in the description. My sub button is down there. Yep, that big red one, unless you've already subbed, then it's great. Thanks for that, by the way. And once you've done that, don't forget to click all 3 of our bell icons to get all 3 sets of our notifications. Comment as well, because why not? And let me know if you saw this race and what you thought of it. Oh, by the way, the top 3 finishes were, I actually can't remember. I'll put them up here. Yeah, so let me know if you saw this race and what you thought of it. Don't forget as well to follow me on all my social medias, which will be in the link tree. Once you've done that too, don't forget to follow Roxanne on her blog and Frost on his Instagram. Their links are also down in the description below the link tree. And lastly, of course, don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.